Welcome back to Economic Chat. Let's talk business with Mr. Daniel Steinman. Still tuned in to the Power Station Energy 100 with myself, Elsa Bitibinyani. If you have missed out on previous conversations, you can tap into economist.com.na and there you'll find all our previous conversations. But we continue with the conversation right now. Mr. Daniel Steinman, we have noticed as you have also mentioned, that the Bank of Namibia is also kind of like confusing us. What are they doing? But with the projection that they have given us, when we look at it on, like, for the future, can you explain that to us? Where is it going to?
If we want to answer the question of where we are headed, we need to look at the elements or the components that will cause that growth.
Yeah.
So if you want an overall economy to grow, it means that the sectors that grow must be more than the sectors that do not grow, and the growth in those sectors must be bigger than the growth in the rest of the economy.
Okay.
Now, that is also a mouthful.
It is.
Which sector now is it? So let's look at what are the dominant sectors in the economy. And obviously, all the analysts that I speak to, that I'm regularly in conversation with, they expect mining, and specifically uranium mining, to sort of come back now to where it were about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So now you first have to understand that the demand for uranium as a nuclear fuel will always be there. Despite what the greenies say, nuclear fuel and nuclear energy is a clean energy. And this may sound like an anomaly, but it is about a month and a half ago, it was approved by the European Union as a clean energy. Now try and get your mind around this. Nuclear, it was always sort of maligned for 50 years, and now suddenly the European Union is confronted with the aggression from Russia.
Yes.
And they see, look what is oil and gas costing us now. And these are dirty energies, you have to burn the oil and you have to burn the gas. It's very similar to coal. They are equally dirty substances to generate electricity from.
Yeah.
So from what can you generate electricity that's very clean in a technical sense? From uranium. So we're back to nuclear. So it means that a policy change in Europe has ensured the demand for uranium worldwide to continue. And we're talking perhaps 15, 20 years. While the big hype of renewable energy slowly gets traction.
Yes, it
So
does.
we're looking at growth expectations for Namibia for next year, 2023, and we see that the possibility is very high that uranium production will increase and increase significantly. And it's got very little to do with industrial output in China. It's got more to do with consumption in Europe, which is what I've just explained. It's one of those anomalies. Nobody expected the Europeans ever to say that nuclear is a clean energy, but they did. And not long ago, a couple of weeks ago. So it changed everything. Then we're also looking at a revival in diamonds. And we are in the diamond industry, we are in a transitionary phase. Because one of the policies of government is that we want to do more of the beneficiation of any mineral inside Namibia. Why is that? Because then the product that we export has a higher value, but also you need people to run those factories where the beneficiation takes place. So it means that you create jobs, and you don't create them offshore, you create them here in the local economy.
Yeah.
It's very important. So uranium diamonds, and then also gold. There are very good expectations for gold. There are 2 dormant gold mines currently in the process of being revived, and there are 2. I'm talking now about big mines, and 2 more that are in the process of being developed. The revived mines will come on stream within the next year, and the other 2 will take about 4 or 5 years. So they will not have an effect in 2023, but you must remember, you don't just, mine is not a photocopier.
No.
You don't plug it in and switch it on and now it works, It takes 4 or 5 years to develop the thing.
Yes.
And while you are doing that, you are contributing to economic growth.
Yes.
Because you need a million small little thingies and big little thingies that must be supplied by local suppliers and must be taken to the mine site, and they must build the mine.
Yes.
So the construction phase in itself generates a lot of economic benefit in the short term, the 2 or 3 or 4 years that you need to build a mine. Only after that, when the mine comes into production, does it generate the longer term steady or stable revenues. Those are usually smaller than the construction revenues, but they are more dependable. So it is uranium, diamonds, gold. Now we're looking at copper. There are very interesting movements in the copper industry. And this entails both the mining side as well as the processing side. And don't be amazed if we see the amount of copper that we process locally, if that really explodes, And the reason is very simple. If you take copper ore or copper blister and you semi-refine it to an exportable copper nugget or a tablet, you need a dependable route. And that is the Walvis Bay corridor. And that makes Namibia very attractive as a processor of copper, either the raw mineral or what they call blister. And then, of course, what you have read in the media, oil has been discovered.
Yes.
Now, whether oil has been discovered in the on land, I'm not going to stick my neck into that that beehive, but oil has certainly been discovered in sea. So the oil itself will not have an impact in 2023 or 2024, but the construction phase will have a big impact in the Namibian economy, because everything, regardless of how specialized it is, must come here first, before it goes to the site where they're building the oil rig. You see, so the expectations in general for 2023 based on commodities or minerals are good.
Okay, so that is only in mining. I was hoping that you would say something about agriculture, but I know also how you feel about agriculture in Namibia, but we'll not get into that. We unfortunately have to cut this conversation very short. But Mr. Daniel Steinman, it has been a good year.
Yes, it has.
It has been a good year. I have learned a lot. Our listeners have learned a lot. And on that note, I personally would like to thank you for, keeping us on our toes and making us understand the economy better, because it's our lives. Like, you cannot walk away from it. So thank you so much. On behalf of the station Energy 100, on behalf of the listeners, we humbly and sincerely and just thank you so much.
Thank you, Elsabe. Very kind words, very highly appreciated.
Okay, and with that said, we will then again talk to you guys next year. Have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy